Welcome into KDC Show Presley Stadium alongside two-time All-American Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. Alicia, this is a Florida offense that hit 4 home runs off of Tennessee's elite pitching this past weekend. Meanwhile, Stetson has the best slash line in the ASUN. Pitching is going to be a huge factor in this game.
Absolutely. This weekend, coming off a high, Florida lost the first game against Tennessee, but showed a lot of fight, clinching the last 2 and clinching the series. Today, I think it's going to be about pitching. Stetson has some hot bats as well. They're not being shy at all, but they can hold the Florida Gators down. They're going to be in a really good position in the ASUN this year.
And somebody they'll have to keep a huge eye on is Florida right fielder Taylor Shoemaker, reigning SEC Player of the Week.
Taylor Shoemaker has been so clutch. Last year, a freshman phenom, but has not missed a beat this year. 5 out of 10 hits this weekend and a home run against Carlin Pickens to put the Gators up on Sunday to start it off and ended up winning the series. Shoemaker has been a phenom.
Florida Gators got it done offensively. In the circle for this midweek, they'll turn to the righty, Caitlin Oxley.
Oxley, the sophomore, last year took a lot of the innings as the Friday and the Sunday starter, but coming in this year, really hot, relies on spin, rise, screw, change combo. Confidence is key. Was a little bit injured early in the season, but coming in hot and got the win on Saturday.
Yeah, also had a complete game shutout on the road against Kentucky. Starting lineup constructed by Shelly Cousins. Keep an eye on that 3 spot. Nicole Edmonston's a ASUN Player of the Year type of bat.
She has been extremely hot. JUCO transfer, but a mainstay in this lineup already, has made a huge impact with already 14 home runs on the season.
McClellan leads off the first. He's low in for ball 1. Our umpiring crew for this game today, Christopher Wirtz behind home. Carlos Guzman is at first, and Kevin Condor is at third. Oxley's 1-0. And finds the outer fringes for a strike. It's 1-1. Caitlin Oxley got this start in the Saturday game. Had relief from Olivia Miller. Ball and a strike. McLaren services one into center field, base hit. Stetson's bats start the day with a knock, comes from the top spot.
McLaren has been extremely reliable this year for the Hatters, almost doubling her average from last year at the top of the lineup, just setting the tone, doing a phenomenal job.
Brings in Aeneas Garcia, shortstop for the Hatters. Oxley's first. On the inner half for his strike, it's 0-1. Stetson, a win today would be their first over Florida since 2006. Did take down a ranked Georgia back in 2022.
What a huge hit for Giannis Garcia. Takes this pitch that's elevated at her shoulders, keeps her barrel even, just drives it over Shoemaker's head in right field. That's how you start a game. A really great job, McLaren, by starting this inning with the hit up the middle, and then sealing the deal comes Garcia, the 2-run bomb.
And it doesn't get any easier with Nicole Edmonston, .516 average, coming to the plate. Her first pitch, sent in the air, left center field, playable for McClellan. And there's one down. Boy, that's a big sigh of relief if you're Caitlin Oxley.
Edmondson has been probably the most feared in their lineup throughout the course of the season. A lot of pop from her, which is a big difference, and we'll talk about that later, but probably the one I'd circle in that Hatters order.
Chumley fouls off at first. Preseason All-ASUN selection from the state of Florida. Sophomore, 5 home runs amongst the team's leaders. Went 0 for 4 last game against FGCU, but had 4 hits in the series. 0-1. Chumley wipes through it, went off speed at just around 50. One of the captains for the Hatters up against Oxley gave up a 2-run blast to start this game, just the 6th this year for Garcia. 0-2. That's inside at 64. Chumley had a solo bomb against Florida in the game at Stetson last year. It's been scorching hot as of late in ASUN play. 1-2. Chumley just caught a piece of the off-speed offering.
Well, this is the kind of team that doesn't necessarily care who their opponents are. They came just shy this past weekend and clinching the series against FGCU, but they're coming in here playing free. This is something that they've worked all season to play like.
2-strike pitch is lifted foul up at third. Coach Shelly Cousins had said that Amber Chumley's a huge bat in this order. He's played all over the place. Third base to the outfield, is very used to that. Multi-hit games in 5 of her last 6. They'll need her today on a 1-2. Lets that go by, evens the count. Shelly Cousins, 33 wins last year. That hasn't happened since 2016. Their team is off to a phenomenal start, 2-2. And she told us they got to take advantage of missed pitches today, and that's already a check mark.
I think they're being extremely patient in the circle right now, and Oxley's not a pitcher that's going to blow it by you, so they're seeing the ball deep, and they're able to just get their barrel behind it.
Payoff pitch is flown in the air to shallow center. It'll be Camilla Rather out at second base, makes the catch. So after the 2-run blast, 2 up, 2 down, great response from Oxley.
That's what you're going to see a lot out of Oxley, and we've seen it already with the upspin that she creates with that screwball, that rise ball. She does get a lot of fly outs.
First to Gabby David is in the zone for strike 1. Out of Boca Raton, the sophomore. 4 hits over the FGCU series. Is a workhorse, in the words of Coach Cousins. This 0-1 is just outside, ball and a strike. Gabby David last year only hit 185, facing Caitlin Oxley in this moment this year. In the mid-300s in her average. Huge jump, 1-1. David cuts on that for a strike. Good pitch by Oxley.
Yeah, Coach credits that huge jump to her confidence and the improvement that she's made in the offseason. Just a great work ethic, to your point, Ryan.
Oh, 1-2. 2-2.
I think the theme of conversation that we had with Coach was how well multiple hitters in their lineup are seeing the strike zone right now.
2-2. That hops home and the count's full with 2 gone. It's been a dream start for Stetson. We'll see how Florida eventually responds to the bottom of the first. It's been 20 years since the Hatters beat the Gators. On a payoff. Popped up and out of play. Tim Walton, 21st year at the helm of this program. Mentioned this past weekend, coming off of a massive series win against #1 Tennessee. 2nd straight year Florida's done that. 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. 3-2 again. David takes ball 4. Third to reach for Stetson in the first inning.
This team has been extremely patient in the at-bats that they've already had today against Oxley. Tag on a walk for the Hatters.
One of their 3 captains, Logan Foreman, Wayne State University transfer, is up. First pitch is upstairs. For the Brantford, Canada native, one of a handful on this roster. In the province of Ontario. One-0. That flutters high at 50. Had a big impact at Wayne State, and the big thing she was dynamic. It's a catcher for Stetson, but her days at Wayne State played right field, designated player, second, short, first. 2-0. Inside, 3-0. Bit of an up and down first inning for Caitlin Oxley, and Jocelyn Erickson will come out for a word.
That battery is so important. Jocelyn knowing the perfect time to talk to her pitcher, calm her down. Went straight to 3-0, but before had a walk and a few hits to start their Hatters off. Maybe can't find her groove right now, struggling to find the strike zone, but again, back to the Hatters, just knowing the zone so well and being able to lay off pitches out of the zone and swing at the ones in it. I think that's the name of the game, and the Hatters are doing a pretty good job right now.
What a great start for Stetson on the road. Gotten off to a good start in ASUN play, 4-2. Nearly beat FGCU, 3-0. That's clocked off foul, 3-1. How big is that from Stetson's perspective to set the tone with that 2-run blast early?
I think it means everything. You're facing a Power 4 team, number 5 in the nation, and you're able to tattoo the ball over the fence and get a hit. I mean, they haven't struck out yet. They've swung through a few pitches, but they're putting bat on ball. So I think seeing that, especially early in the lineup, it gives the rest of the team confidence to be able to know that they can see the ball just as well and tag along.
There's a payoff to Foreman. Times this up to left center, but it hangs up for Cassidy McClellan, and that'll retire the side. Stetson leaves one, but they get two in a big way. Garcia leaves the yard for the 6th time this year, and Stetson has the lead on the Florida Gators, 2-0. Let's see how the orange and blue respond in the home half. We're trying to respond. Here's Florida's starting 9, put together by Tim Walton, his 21st year. Cassidy McClellan has been swinging the bat really well as of late.
In the last 7 games, hitting .438 with 3 home runs. Tallies some RBIs as well. She's been a mainstay in their lineup. Interesting story, has earned her position, and now she's keeping it.
Yeah, played sparingly the last couple of years. In the circle for the Stetson Hatters, it is the righty, Haley Arnold.
And Haley Arnold's going to come in, 31 in the 3rd innings pitched with a 3.8 ERA. Not necessarily their ace, but looking to give the Hatters their best shot at a win today.
First pitch is at ball. Here's the scouting report for Haley Arnold.
She's going to throw a curve to both sides. A lot of upspin with that curve and rise. Spin is deceptive, and you'll see a floaty changeup from her. Hopefully keep the Gators off balance.
Townsend Thomas foul tips this into the glove, 1-1. Different construction of the lineup today, as if late Taylor Shoemaker had been leading off. Thomas began the year in the leadoff spot, has been in the 9, more recently in the 6th spot in this order, now back in the leadoff spot. 1-1. That's outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Townsend's so dynamic. You can put her in the 9 and in the 1, and she's able to just put bat on ball and figure out a way to get on base with the amount of tools that she has in her arsenal.
2-1 to Thomas. Zings this, left center field. Plenty of hang for Chumley. Has to track it down. Got caught in the wind, and there's one away. First out quickly recorded for Haley Arnold. And here comes Taylor Shoemaker, reigning SEC Player of the Week.
And a big out by Arnold. Wouldn't want to put anybody on base before Shoemaker comes up to bat with her track record.
She is consistent. First pitch to the lefty. That flutters out of the zone, 1-0. Shoemaker leads the SEC, 3rd nationally in hits. 2 for 2. The last time out against Tennessee, home run, also had an RBI single, put him up 3-0. 1-0. Low, ball 2.
I think Shoemaker's just so strong, just built like a horse. I mean, she's able to just get hits solely off of her muscle. We saw that this past weekend, getting jammed, but still putting the ball through the infield.
2-0. That's ball 3. Taylor Shoemaker, originally from Fullerton, California. 4 home runs in her last 10 games. Needs a strike here, does Arnold. Instead, it's a 4-pitch walk to Shoemaker.
And I wouldn't be too mad about that, but then you look at who's behind her, and Jocelyn Erickson leading the team in RBIs. A ton of power, even more home runs than Taylor Shoemaker.
At 46 in her career, right now he's 6th in the Florida home run career category. RBIs is 5 away from 200. Twists it to first, it's a strike. Her next RBI would tie her with Amanda Lorenz. Has been in a groove as of late. Would be just the 5th ever player to cross the 200 RBI mark. 0-2. or the 6th rather, would be on that list. She's done it in 3 years. Spent her first year at Oklahoma. Oh, 2 to Erickson. Trying to time it up, fouls it off, protects the plate. This year, her average and her hitting numbers have come just back up slightly. Gave a huge credit to that, to her routine before games. Likes to meditate, says she visualizes herself in game and off-field situations. Said it helps me stay present, not too far in the future and not too far in the past. Arnold for an 0-2. Erickson caught a piece again.
And I think that's one of the greatest tools that any elite player, whether they play softball or another sport, needs to be able to adopt. Visualization, meditation, because it's so easy to get those anxieties and doubts, but that meditation just brings you back to ground zero.
Another 2-strike pitch. Erickson rips one foul past Kendra Flau'Jae at first. My goodness, that one had some serious zip.
I probably just close my eyes and hope for the best at that point.
I tell you what, if there's any first base coach who can scurry out of the way fast enough, it's Kendra Flau'Jae. Gold Glover, true speedster when she was a Florida Gator.
She wanted no part of that, Ryan.
I don't blame her. Another 0-2. Erickson waits. That one's outside and ball 1. One of Florida's captains, one of 2 alongside Ava Brown. The All-American waits for a 1-2 from Arnold. Up and in, ball 2. Erickson very much working the count here. Only had 1 hit over the Tennessee series. Arnold so far got the first out off of a fly ball into left. Also had a 4-pitch walk. 2-2. Erickson smashes it playable into foul territory. English into the camera well. Oh my goodness. All eyes making sure that Nani English is okay. And comes out with a smile.
I think my heart stopped for a second there, Ryan. That was at third base, tracking that ball down, extending her body through that camera well and just flailing over. I mean, I think the whole stadium held their breath for that one, including Arnold.
Kendra Flau'Jae also sharing the same sentiment. She did not hang on to the ball, so Jocelyn Erickson is still up at the plate.
Glad English is okay. That's
yeah, above all else, we're glad that she's okay. 2-2. Erickson takes ball 3. Really extended at bat here for Erickson. Fouled off a bunch on 0-2, has worked it to full. Payoff pitch. Erickson slings it through the right side for a base hit. Shoemaker will go from first to third. Runners on the corners off of the Jocelyn Erickson single.
And that's just what you call a mature at bat. And Jocelyn Erickson running the count to 0-2 and then getting to 3 balls. And hitting a hard ground ball through the 3-4 hole. She's a veteran for that reason.
Kendall Grover up trying to score some runs for Florida. And the first, she's only in her half for a strike. Stetson 2-run blast in the away, half's the difference. Kendall Grover trying to find her groove. 0-1. Grover pops one, middle infield. Garcia waves for it, makes the catch. Huge second out for Stetson. It's up to Kenley Cahalan to try and make something with 2 outs happen. Had a 32-game on-base streak snapped against Tennessee. Was on a tear to begin the year. First pitch to her. Cahalan will take a strike.
I'm really impressed by Arnold in the circle. We saw her walk Shoemaker, but getting ahead in the count with Erickson. And yes, she earned the hit, but I think she did a really good job at throwing around the zone, not giving her anything really close to hit, because she is definitely a home run threat. So the single that she got, I think, is a win-win if she's able to now get out of this after getting 2 pop flies.
One to Erickson. Or to Cahalan, rather. That flutters outside. Erickson at first. Shoemaker at third. Kelly Cahalan having a stellar senior campaign. Last year was a 300 hitter, very good, but already surpassed her home run numbers. Closing in on those ribby numbers as well. 2-1. Cahalan, slow roller to the circle. Arnold's got it. High throw is still in time, and that'll retire the side. Gators leave 2, only 1 hit in the inning, and Stetson has a 2-0 lead over Florida as we slide to the second. Different arm in the second. It's riding in former 2-time All-ASUN selection, Allison Sparkman.
And Sparkman, with only 8 1/3 innings this year, going to come in and give a different look than Oxley. Low to mid 60s. Go-to is drop in curve, but she will throw on both sides of the plate and mix it up a little bit. But looking at her to try to stop the Hatters.
Oxley's line through the 1 inning she pitched, gave up a big home run, also walked 1 batter, didn't give up any more damage after that, but just maybe looking for a different matchup on the rubber. Nadia English will lead off. She went head over heels into the camera well at third earlier. And she'll take a strike on the first.
And that's somebody I want in my team. Going balls to the walls to get an out. Whether she caught it or not, just the effort.
0-1, English takes outside. English from Melbourne, Florida. 1-1. Choked up, it's 1-2. Really glad to see Nadia English was okay. This was an all-out effort.
It was. Huge effort.
If I remember correctly, Florida had an infielder, I want to say it was in 2019, that made a similar play, also falling into that camera well. 1-2.
I wonder who it was.
Fly ball into right. Shoemaker giving chase, couldn't get there. I think it might have, it was either Sofia Reynosa or Amanda Lorenz. My memory may be spotty on that. But all the same, it's still an indication of just how gutsy Nadia English is, a quiet leader of this team. In Shelly Cousins' words. Sparkman a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Her first appearance in nearly a month. Allison Sparkman's got her first strikeout of the game.
You could just see the spin off of Sparkman's fingers right here on that outer half. Throwing that drop ball to get English to swing over. Really big way to come out and get the first out of the inning.
First is Sinaraki, laced down the line, and it's just foul past McClellan. Madeline Sinaraki, 1 for 2 her last game, had 3 hits over that Florida Gulf Coast series. It only started 4 games prior. It started 2 this past weekend, so a little bit more of a fixture in the lineup as of late. A 1. Outside, ball and a strike. Allison Sparkman has seen sparse innings throughout the course of the year, more early on in February. 1-1. Ripped to short past Cahalan, tumbling into center field. Stetson's 3rd hit already has a runner aboard with 1 out.
Sinaraki just looking for something in the zone to tee up, and does just that. Outer half, left over the middle a little bit, but all she's got to do is just get her barrel behind it, and she squares it up right past Cahalan at shortstop. Another base runner for the Hatters.
Gia Napoli's up in the 9 spot. And she'll take low on the first. One of a couple veterans in this outfield for Stetson. 4 years in this program, has moved all across the defense. 1-0. Wanders wide, 2 balls, no strikes, and started in the infield before last year moved into the outfield and really brought her numbers up. Hit 197 as a sophomore, 319 last year, mid-200s this year. 2-0. And that's high, ball 3.
And you typically see that a lot in the game of softball. A lot of coaches are recruiting infielders, shortstops, because they're one of the most athletic players on the field. And throughout their career, they get moved to the outfield. There's a lot of different factors that go into that with who comes in the program and other things of that such.
6th walk that Napoli is drawn this year. Olivia Miller's in the bullpen for Florida. Potentially a 3rd different arm for this Gators staff. Sparkman got a strikeout against the 7th spot. Back to the top we go with Annabella McClellan, who singled on her last trip. That's in for a strike, 0-1. And what this could do for Stetson, this opportunity, only 1 out in the top of the order up. 0-1. Way off speed. That's ball 1. Annabella McLaren got off to a scorching start at the year, got off to a scorching start in this game. At 400 through her first 10, 1-1. That's up high, ball 2, and she's ahead. Coaches love her plate discipline. Very calm, they said, not afraid to take pitches. As Jocelyn Erickson will come out to chat with Sparkman. What does Sparkman need to execute in this spot?
I think with Jocelyn coming out 2 times in the past 2 innings, both pitchers just struggling to find the zone and getting behind a little bit more than maybe they'd like. With the discipline of the Hatters, they got to be able to move the ball through the zone because they're not necessarily swinging at a lot of balls. So I think if she can establish that off-speed pitch as well, you saw how floaty it was, and make that ball dance, I think she's going to be in good shape.
2-1. McLaren taps one fair, up at 3rd, tags for 1, throw to first, not in time for the double play. They do get the lead runner, and it's a huge 2nd out of this inning.
There's a really good heads-up play by Grover, but just not enough on that throw to get the runner at first out.
Arianis Garcia had the 2-run blast to put Stetson up early. Strike on the first. So this was a huge blast.
It was, and Oxley, known for her rise ball, Arianis Garcia literally just turns her barrel and drives this over the fence.
Does it again, this time through the right side. Wave at 3rd, late red light all the way back. Napoli will retreat to 3rd. 2nd hit for Garcia.
Garcia's just hot. The Hatters just look extremely relaxed at the plate, like nothing's phasing them, but a huge hit by Garcia again.
Well, this is some heavyweight stuff. Stephanie Van Brakel-Prothro will come out for a chat with the battery. Coach Walton's going to talk to the infield. Nicole Edmonston flew out to left field in the 1st inning, but she is the headline of this very big swinging Stetson offense. 2nd year in this program for Stephanie Van Brakel-Prothro. Is a legend amongst the SEC coaching ranks, longtime pitching coach at Alabama, and it needs her transfer arm to come through in this spot against a former league opponent. Bases loaded for their best hitter. Allison Sparkman, first appearance since late February. This is also a big opportunity for her.
Absolutely. How is she going to respond to this, especially with 2 outs? You've got the defense able to tag any base to get the last out of the inning, but on the flip side of it, a huge opportunity for Edmonston and the Hatters to break this game wide open. Edmonston can change the trajectory of this game with 1 swing.
Transfer from Florida Southwestern, spent 2 years there, was a star. First pitch. That's outside for ball one. You have nowhere to put Edmiston. He's homered in 4 consecutive games. That ties his school record. 1-0. Edmiston breaks one to second. Kamiya goes the short way. And Sparkman evades the jam. Stetson loads the bases, but they leave all 3 stranded. And it's still the Hatters 2 in Florida looking to respond to the home half of the second. In this crew hoping that they can make a little bit of history today, and so far so good for them. The bats have brought it at as has the defense. Madison Walker will lead off. Florida's got 6, 7, and 8 to begin this inning. Olathe, Kansas native. First to Walker is high. She had the go-ahead home run in the Saturday game against Tennessee. It's a Gator team that has leaned on the long ball a lot. 1-0. Ripped in the air, center field. Walker's just short of the wall. Gave it a jolt, not quite the same frozen rope she had against the Lady Vols. It's the first out of the inning. Gators this season, 4th consecutive year that they have been in the top 10 in program history, and it's gotten better every single season. They're 3rd in the nation in long balls entering this week. First to McClellan. One of the Gators that homered against Tennessee takes a strike, and that program identity has really leaned into that on the offensive side. It
has, and I just think you're seeing a more well-rounded Florida Gators team. We've known them in the past for pitching and in the era that I played in, and yeah, we had great bats, but I think now it's just 1 through 9. You're seeing a ton of production, whether it be in the top of the lineup with heavy hitters, and also bottom of the lineup with people like Cassidy McClellan who can go yard, get hits at any moment.
She'll see an 0-2 pitch. Good layoff there for ball one.
It was a really good pitcher's pitch by Arnold, especially with 0-2. She's been doing a good job at hitting spots and expanding the zone when she's ahead.
A 1-2. Up the ladder, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's one of the first things you learn as a pitcher when you first step into the circle is when you get ahead, like you can either attack the zone or you can throw around it. And I think she's not giving these Florida Gator hitters anything good when she's ahead in the count.
It's 2-2. She got her on the outer half for strike 3. 2 away.
I'm glad she just made my point right there. 1-2, a really phenomenal screwball on the outer half to McClellan to paint the corner. Goes to that spot 2 times in a row with that changeup, and that screwball pays off.
2 up, 2 down. Ella Wesolowski to the plate. That's ball 1 inside on Ella Wesolowski. Transfer from Mississippi State. Played in 92 career games with the Bulldogs. She's already surpassed her single-season home run mark with those 4 she has. 1-0. Flares this opposite way into foul territory. Off the screen, it's 1-1. Grew up idolizing former Gator great. That was Aubrey Monroe. Says she has a picture when she's 12 years old wearing a Gator headband. One of her dreams was to play for Tim Walton and the Florida Gators. That has come to fruition. And now playing that same spot Aubrey Monroe did. Ball and a strike on the righty. Here it comes. Falls inside, 2-1.
I love that. Aubrey Monroe, I was lucky enough to be able to throw to her. One of the best catchers to ever come through this program and really play the game at all.
2-1 offering. Wesolowski turns one foul at third. Her dad, too, played in the Marlin system, is now a state trooper. Was her coach her entire life. Coached her from travel ball all the way up until the college level. Used to front toss to her, work on the mechanics. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 gone. Arnold dispenses at 2-2. Wesolowski fights it off. said that her dad, too, helped her shape the mental side of the game and feels like her toughness is one of her best aspects.
I think that's extremely important as a young athlete. When you've got access to somebody that played at his caliber, the lessons that you can learn from them that she has. And
out. So Stetson had Wesolowski shifted left. She has a 2-out single.
Patient at bat by Wesolowski, driving that ball right back up the middle. Doesn't need to do too much, especially when you got 2 strikes.
Gives way to Gabby Comia down in the 9 spot. First 2 is a strike. And a huge jump from last year to this year. Has become more of an everyday starter for Florida. She'll see an 0-1. Comia will take that. Outfield shift is still on for Stetson. Have Comia shaded slightly to the left. Coming off an 0-for-7 weekend against Tennessee. Huge gap in right center. 1-1. Comia takes up and in. Gators trying to find something with 2 gone. Arnold's 2-1. Comia caught a piece, 2 strikes.
Comia, one of those players, to your point, Ryan, earned a spot in the lineup every day. Last year, had more of a pinch hitting role, but every time she came in, she gave you confidence that she was going to get a hit and do something on the base pass. Came in as a defensive replacement over at shortstop as well, and now playing every day at second base.
2-2. Comia pops it up. English comes just outside the line for it. That'll retire this side. Gators leave a single stranded at first. We are on to the 3rd. It's still Stetson. She's Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. Scott Snyder, our producer tonight. And Allison Sparkman back in the circle to take on the middle of this Stetson order that so far has swung it well in a big way. 2 runs on 4 hits. You cannot ask for a much better start if you're Shelly Cousins.
You can, and you know, we talked about the discipline that they've had and how proud she was when speaking about just how well they know the strike zone. I think you're seeing it today, play in their favor.
First 2, Amber Chumley finds the zone for strike 1. A Stetson offense that comes in absolutely raking. Already surpassed their home run total from last year. 6 different offensive categories. The 0-1's off speed up and in. They're in the top of the league. Last year we're on the upper end of the A-Sun, but sitting 3rd, 4th in most of those same categories. Have still taken a big jump. 1-1. Chumley slow rolls it to 3rd. Grover to Walker for the first out of the inning. And that's still considering that they lost some major pieces in their lineup. Addison Foster, Cami Epley, Dylan Anthony, all of which were all conference selections. If you want to win on the road, especially against this Florida team, you got to be able to score. And those numbers, Alicia, have been really impressive as the first is inside to David.
They have been as a team, hitting .319, OBP of .405. We talked about what they lost, but Coach Cousins really talked about that transfer portal and how it's helped them in bringing in a few big bats to contribute to that average that you saw on the screen.
Gabby David on first base. Let's watch this one back.
It's a close call. It might have moved her elbow a little bit, but
6th hit by pitch this year. Logan Foreman will take a strike. Oh, 1. That dart's tight, ball 1. Foreman flew out in the first. Allison Sparkman, 1 strikeout in the second. Bases were loaded. She got out of trouble. 1-1. Tapped over to Cahalan. Off balance to second. On to first. Couldn't pick it out. Gators nearly end the inning on that potential double play. Instead, 2 down.
I think a heads-up play, though, to try to get 2 on that. A tough hop by Cahalan. See how she had to – she came in initially, but then had to take that drop step on a tough hop. And Walker with a really nice snag at first to hold.
2 gone. First to English is way out of the zone from Sparkman. Was the strikeout victim to Allison Sparkman back in her last at-bat in the second. This 1-0 is popped up. Playable. It'll be Gabby Camilla who comes in front of Shoemaker, and that'll retire the side. Stetson leaves a runner. No hits in the inning. No errors either. Middle of 3. Stetson by 2. See you in just 1 moment. Since 2006 and would be their first ever on this field at KSP. Still early as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Townsend Thomas leads off. Second time through for Florida. How can they adjust?
I think they're going to have to be able to put the ball on the ground. I mean, Arnold is, coming hot with that upspin, with that curve and that rise ball, and a little bit of the changeup. I think they're just going to have to flatten their barrel a little bit, just hit the ball through the infield. We saw that with Jocelyn Erickson. Did a good job at that, but just staying through and trying to find the middle or the top.
First to Thomas is just a little bit outside. That's ball 1. Infield really pinched in on the speedster, Townsend Thomas. 1-0 en route. Thomas takes up and out. Ball 2. From Humble, Texas originally.
Is that how you say it?
It is how you say it. You don't say the H.
I've always said humble.
It is Humble. So I've been told. 2-0. Thomas skitters through, takes strike 1. If you didn't know this, she's musically talented too, as Townsend Thomas, facing Arnold in this moment. Got into it young. Her dad played piano, kept an organ around the house, just always incorporated it. 2-1 pitch. Thomas shoves one off into foul ground. English is there, and there's 1 down.
And that's now 5 flyouts for Arnold in the circle. We talked about the adjustments that Florida needs to make to be able to get some more hits, score some more runs. It's the opposite of what we just saw in Townsend Thomas.
Let's see what Taylor Shoemaker has second time around. Only saw 4 pitches, was walked. First pitch doesn't hit it. 50, 1-0. Arnold a 1-0. That wanders in for a strike, 1-1. Coach Walton told us that she doesn't watch a lot of film. Said it feels like for her it clouds her vision somewhat. Needs more feel as a hitter. 1-1. Shoemaker takes 2-1.
And as you get older, especially in college, I think you understand what you need as a hitter, pitcher, defender, ready to be successful on the field. Some might need video, some might not. Others might need some.
2-1 is whipped foul, 2-2. Where did you sit on that spectrum?
I think in college, I didn't necessarily know what to look for in the film room. I think I was always told what to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the game just moved really fast, and it wasn't until I was a pro that I really learned how to scout and analyze my swing and my pitches.
2-2, another flare shot, similar spot for English, will run out of room.
I think some players who have grown up in a organization like Shoemaker with the Bat Busters, I mean, they're known for just their maturity in the box and how they operate within the game and their softball IQ. I think just certain athletes are able to analyze the information and take it and do as they wish with it.
2-2, Shoemaker will let it go by. Well, she is a pro's pro. Coach Walton said one of the best swings this game has ever seen in Taylor Shoemaker, only a sophomore, reigning freshman of the year. Only the second, the other one also from California, Amanda Lorenz. Payoff pitch. Shoemaker rips one on the ground into center field. There's that swing in action. Florida's got a 1-out base hit from Shoemaker.
she's just so good because she's able to hit to all fields with power. A lot of her home runs are coming on the left side of the field, but she's able to open up her hips and get her hands extended to the right side as well. But just tremendous power in all fields and able to hit bad balls well.
Erickson up, first pitch.
And shout out to Amanda, because she texted me a few innings ago about that play that you had mentioned with English over at third base. It was Sophia.
It was Sophia Reynoso. I figured it was somebody who was on the left side of the defense for Florida.
Erickson just launches this pitch a little bit elevated. It's a frozen rope right off the wall. Puts her glove down, and Erickson wheels her way all the way to third base and an RBI for the catcher.
Jocelyn Erickson, with that RBI, now stands alone at 7th in program history for Ribbies. First pitch, Grover in the air, a warning shot. And it's 0-1.
And that's the adjustment that we spoke about earlier, Ryan. That pitch was in her wheelhouse, is a little bit elevated, but Erickson a really good job at just turning and burning, keeping that barrel even to be able to hit it solid instead of popping up like we've seen a few times today in this lineup.
0-1 wanders inside, ball and a strike. The Gators have matched Stetson's hit total, finally on the scoreboard in the third. Have the tying run on the doorstep just 60 feet away. That is Florida's first triple this season. 1-1. Over the top, 2-1. Couldn't have been anybody else but Jocelyn Erickson. That kind of power. She stands at third base, 2-1 to Grover. Grover into foul territory. This one tails too far. It's 2-2. Only one out. This is a prime opportunity, second time through for the Gators.
They've seen Arnold in the circle already once before. They know what to expect, know how the ball's moving, so they're able to make those adjustments, hopefully second time through the lineup.
2-2 is fisted foul. Something Coach Walton said he was really pleased about his team's growth from the start of the regular season to now has been their communication. Has been really on point. And we've seen Florida second time through adjust well. 2 hits in this inning, 1 run in, looking for the tying run at third. On a 2-2 to Grover.
Really good job at Grover getting that ball all the way to the outfield for a sacrifice fly. I think it caught a wind tunnel up there. Forced McLaren out in center field to run a long way after calling the ball in center field. Had to run a shallow right center.
All 3 of them out there.
First 2, Kenley Cahalan. This is the zone. That's ball 1. The Gators were down 2 off of an ambush home run from Stetson in the first inning. Gators finally on the board in the third. Cahalan faces 1-0. She'll send one on the ground to second. Sinaraki's throw to Edmonston's in time. That'll retire the side. But Florida evens this game up. Couple of hits in the inning. Florida's first triple this year, and the sac fly caps